Does performance matter? You seem fairly sure about that. That's good. That's good. I'm just checking, I'm a performance coach, so it would seem to make sense that we sort of make sure that performance does actually matter. And the second one, and it's really important, tell me the truth and don't be shy, are you any good at what you do? Interestingly, not quite as sure. But no, that's good. I mean, listening to the stuff that was going on and what Dino was saying, I mean, don't be shy. You hitting some really outstanding performances. So for me, it's really about, I worry less about where we start from. I worry much more about, well, where do we get to? Because we are where we are. But the overriding thing is, are we serious about recognizing, no matter how good we are now, there's more room to move? And once we're in that position, then we can have a look at some stuff. So first little bit that I want to talk about is just looking at, well, okay, how do we make sure, what are some of the couple of simple things that we can do that give us a chance to really enhance our performance? A question for you would be this. I'd like you to think of what is the key deliverable that you're working on at the moment. You can call it an objective, whatever it might be, but at some point, someone's going to sit you down and have a conversation about, did you do X? I don't need to know what it was, I just need you to bring X to mind. All right, so what is the big thing, and maybe one or two, that that is what I'm going to have to sit down and have a conversation about in terms of your performance. When you've got something in mind, just a subtle nod of the head. I don't want to work you too hard, it doesn't have to be too much. Okay, some of you need to go and look up the word subtle. But okay, so I just need you to sort of just keep that in mind. So look, all that I want to do here is I would sort of share a story with one of my athletes when we were back in 2011 going into 2012, preparing for the games in London. Now, any athlete, let's imagine that someone's really good at what they do, as they're heading into a games, what might be a big goal that they've got for themselves? Gold medal, absolutely. Now, obviously, they don't hand out too many of those. So what other sort of objective might an athlete have going into a competition? A personal best, yeah, absolutely. Now, there are others, but I like to work with these two, gold medal, personal best. Now, there are several differences between the two, but for me, there's an overriding difference. And what do you think that might be?
Personal best doesn't depend on anyone else.
I like it. If I had a script, I'd be suspicious that you'd read it. So that is absolutely true. Yeah, gold medal, you have some influence over it, but it's not absolutely down to you. Lots of other people are trying to do exactly the same thing, but a personal best is absolutely in your control. And the point that I would like to make here is, whenever we think about objectives, people get set objectives, we've all got goals, we've all got that sort of stuff, we've got to look at it and go, if the differentiator is control, if the differentiator is, one is some influence, but not absolute, and the other is, that is absolutely down to me, what I typically find is the goals that get set are the balance is not even. All right, so think about that thing that you're going to have a conversation about. And my question to you would be this: which camp does it fall into? Is it more gold medal camp? You obviously have some influence over it, but things could happen. Or is it more personal best camp, which means it is 100% down to you? Show of hands for whose goal is more in the personal best camp. You're doing well, which sort of explains why things move so, because normally that is just not the case. So that's a fairly, that wasn't a lot of hands, but that's a highest level, highest statistic than I often find. So my point is this: it's not that one is good and one is bad, they're both very necessary. But if we don't have the personal best type, if we don't look at the gold medal and go, what can I distill out of that is absolutely down to me, and come review time, have that given equal weight, then we're not really setting ourselves up to perform in the best possible way, particularly when we're already doing stuff and it needs to move on to the next level.